today we have Ken Adgate, Ewan, Jaspan, and Cynthia Brown. What do you still feel is missing in Parawinging?
Funny you should ask, because I have been developing a product.
I think adjustable like bar length.
I want to share some clips that you guys sent through.
Seeing a lot of the kids kind of take the freestyle thing. I think we lost Kenny as well.
We lost Kenny.
He doesn't like freestyle.
Straps.
Which there's so much wind coming up that way.
Well, you can see he grabs at it.
Was it the trash bag tack?
This one. This
yeah,
one.
that one.
And I got yarded. What's the one skill that every rider should master?
Learning to switch your feet and riding in the
I
opposite
changed
stance.
mine. That's mine.
I totally agree.
All right, rapid fire. Short lines or long lines? What's the most innovative product? Harness line, yes or no? What's the worst habit that you see out there? What's the ultimate Parawing setup? Hey, Lab Rat fan, I have a question for you. Based on you listening to this podcast, you are either learning how to parawing, you're thinking about getting into the sport, or you are already parawinging and interested in improving your skills and knowledge. So if that's you, I want to invite you to the Lab Rat Academy, an online parawinging course that will give you the right foundation to progress your parawinging into new heights. In this course, I will explain everything from the beginning, how the parawing works, choosing the right gear, safety, land drills, getting up on foil, staying upwind, stowing, and much, much more. The information in this course is layered and organized to make sure that you progress as fast as you can with everything you need in the one spot. I want to help you learn how to parawing in less than 30 days. And if you are already parawinging, I want to help you get the right foundation to continue to progress faster. So if you join now, you will also get access to weekly video calls with myself to discuss your progression and make sure that you are on the right track. So if any of this sounds good to you, I want to offer everyone who is listening to the podcast 10% discount on the course as a thank you for following on this crazy journey that Parawing has been. And all you need to do is add LabRat10 when you're checking out and visit labratfoiler.com to subscribe. Now let's get to the interview. Welcome to the Lab Rat Foiler podcast. My name is Dan, and today we have our end of year special with Ken Adgate, Ewan, Jaspan, and Cynthia Brown. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining the end of year Parawing banter.
Ooh. Nice to be here.
Aloha.
Oh, a little bit more excitement.
Let's have some banter.
Jesus.
Can't-
What time is it over there?
Yeah, oh.
There we go. Okay, we're on now. What time is it over there, Ken? You seem very tired.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Come on. 3 o'clock.
Just got off
All
work.
right. All right. What we're going to do today is we have a different format. We wanted to put together something that kind of encapsulates 2025, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what we saw this year. So I have a few questions that we're just going to go around the table. We're going to all answer them. We're going to give our input. There will be discussion. There will be some debates. And then at the end, we're going to go through a rapid fire questionnaire. So there's 8 or 10 questions for you guys that I just want one word answers. There will be plenty of debate prior to them. So we'll have some conclusions by the end of it. And then at the end of the show, we're going to just put together our ultimate Parawing setup as a group. And again, that might spark some debates, but that's the whole point of it. We'll see what's working for each of us and what we experienced this year, because it was a mega year for Parawinging. Anything that you guys want to say before the show begins? Any launches? You just launched your hatch. It went live, a week ago
last
now?
week. So stoked with that. It's going well.
How's that
we had
going?
really good reception online and had some good reviews and getting people out there. And it was, I think, a product we much needed. And yeah, pretty stoked with where it's at and stoked to work on the next one too.
Nice. I think we all wrote it in Hood at some point. I know I wrote it a few times, and yeah, it was performing really well. I wrote No, I rode
Yeah.
the 3.5, and it was sick. Cool. Sinbad, you got your power packs?
I did. I got a 2.4 and a 3 meter just 2 days ago.
Not used it yet.
No, I did. I did a forced session because we've had Kona winds straight offshore, pretty gnarly. So I went to the harbor, which is not, I'm not a harbor rat. Super offshore, like 5 to 30 mile an hour winds, flat water. And biggest I have is a 3. I went out on my normal setup and I was pretty impressed with how I could pump up onto foil. The power, the low end power was amazing. And then I posted a little clip on my story, not on my feed, but the stability of the wing is insane. It's just like rock solid little power pack. I mean, I'm pretty stoked on it. The line lengths, like
Nice.
the Ozone addressed everything we complained about the lines tangling and the line lengths and the bar length, and the power pack has all that, but it's still not a pocket rocket because it's a lower aspect wing. It's really made for shorter upwind runs, not like your mega 8-mile upwinder. But for riding waves and downwinding, it's going to be epic.
Awesome. I think Ken and I were just about to get ours as well, so we're definitely going to get some thoughts out there when we ride them. Ken, any news from you, bro, that you want to share?
I got a couple things coming up, but right now, just excited to try all this new gear. Got some stuff Slingshot is sending for me to try, and then the new F4 stuff that'll be fun to try in Maui.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a lot of new things for 2026, so it'll be fun.
Good stuff, man. Well, we'll get you back on to talk about them. All right, let's get cracking with these questions, guys. What we'll do is I'll cycle through all of you, so we'll take turns on who starts to answer each question. So first question is, how did your Parawing riding change throughout 2025? And this could be, anything from gear, boards, your style of riding. How did it change from the start of the year to what you're doing now? Let's start with Ken, because I could see you right in front of me, Ken. How did your riding change from the start of the year, man?
I would say I went to a smaller board. Mike came out with a skinny mast. I've been going shorter and shorter mast length. I was really sold on the 86 for a long time and then ended up going to an 80. Now we have an 83 skinny, so that's been a nice change. Just learning the efficiency of the foil and what's possible with the new stuff that's coming out and what they're working on. It's pretty shocking how much you could like change or see the different changes in the foil and how efficient they are, and then trying to make a perfect package foil is going to be a lot of fun for this year coming up for the foil designers, because there's a lot of stuff changing, and the riding style is getting better. A lot more surf style stuff. So I think it's just going to keep pushing the sport.
Yeah, that's pretty big for Mike, because his stuff was always really like race kind of oriented. So now you're saying he's going like lower aspect on his front wings. And what kind of aspect ratio are we talking about here?
Oh, as far as Mike stuff?
Yeah.
Mike is, we're working on one, but right now he just changed the mast, which helped a lot as far as the efficiency through the water. And then it frees up the roll, which Mike's is a little bit more locked in. So it's fun to try to get ideas of the next style of foil that we want to design and try to create. But he hasn't changed anything really much. It's just that the mass has made a pretty big difference.
Yeah, mass has been all the rave right now with the F4 stuff as well. Did you change much what you're like when you go out, the style of riding that you're doing? Are you still doing more laps versus anything else?
I would say I'm trying to incorporate more like prone style, so putting it away a lot more. And Maui has been amazing. So same with Sinbad has been awesome. And then Hood River has kind of opened my eyes as far as how fun it could be to ride with nothing in your hands. And then when you go back winging, you actually want to just get rid of it because it's kind of in the way all the time. So that was a big eye opener too.
Sick. Let's move on. And look, if you guys have any questions to whoever's answering the question as well, feel free to just cut in. I love when people like talk over each other. It's kind of funny. All right, let's move on. Sinbad, what did you change throughout the year in your style of riding?
Well, first off, my bank account got a lot smaller, so I had to change out. I had two foil brands, as you probably know. One that had high end and speed, and another one that I needed when I first started with subfoiling before prone downwinding. I mean, before parawinging downwinding. I needed a foil with low end, so I invested in that package. But then I was depressed that the low end I didn't get the high speed, so it was this big compromise. So I went back to riding my Mike slabs, which had more high end, but to get the low end, I had to ride a bigger foil. So I was on an 825, and then my friends were like wiping out and ripping past me riding like sub 700 foils. So I demoed the F4 Orca 685, and it was just, I went home and started photographing gear and listing it for sale, and paid full retail, and bought myself an F4 setup. Also, my board, I mean, my KT Super K was amazing, but I kind of outgrew it and wanted something smaller. And my next door neighbor happens to be Frank from Frank Foil Boards, and he was working on a Parawing shape, and he didn't know, how to demo it out because he wasn't a Parawinger. So he gave it to me, and I wrote it, and I noticed immediately. I mean, his shape was off. We had to fix some things, but his construction, I noticed something I'd never experienced in any other board was this like immediate connection to the foil when I pumped and turned. It just like this solid connection. So of course I had to have one of those boards, and more bank account drainage. And then then of course now the power pack. So now I got a new Parawing to play with. But I mean, my style is the same, but I think it's going to get better because now I actually have a foil that I can pump and accelerate and go forward and carve and like drop down to the surface and think my run's over, like a Maliko run, and think, oh no, I got to pull out the Parawing and get it back up. But with my setup now with this ultralight board and this incredible foil, I had the board on the surface, water was over the nose, and I just was like, took my 63-year-old legs and I started pumping, and I was blown away. The whole thing came up and I kept going. I never pulled the Parawing out. So I'm pretty stoked on that.
Are you right? As you said, the Orca, is that their high aspect foil in their line?
Right now it is, but they're working on even higher. The Orca is, I think it's 12. Is it, Kenny? I think it's 12-1.
I think so. 12 or 13. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and but what's
and then they
shocking
have
about
a lower
it,
aspect, something else.
well, they're releasing a surf foil, which I've ridden, which they're coming out in all sizes, and that's insane. But they are coming out with, I mean, this foil was developed, the Orca 685 was developed for the downwind races here in Maui, the subfoiling. So it's got unbelievable low end, but unlike the other foils that have unbelievable low end, it has this like unbelievable high end where just like you pump it and the thing accelerates and it keeps going. And you would think at that aspect ratio it wouldn't turn, but it's incredibly fun in the surf. And we're all, I mean, like Dave Kalama's riding it in the surf. We're all like surfing it. It's mind blowing. It's so fun. The
I think
designers
they were here.
in San Francisco.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I was trying to hit him up to see if I could try one of those things because everybody's talking about them right now and everybody's going crazy about their foils. And riding Mike's lab for you to like a foil, it says a lot.
Yeah. They were pretty shocked. Like when I ordered it, they were just like, really? Sinbad's buying one? Like, they were pretty shocked. So.
Well, that's awesome.
I mean, I love Mike's foils. It's just they couldn't do what I needed. I need a handicap, I guess, going downwind. I want to go fast and I want to go slow. And I didn't have the low end like on a Mike's Lab 700. I had the speed, but I didn't have the low end. I was with somebody parawinging because I was sick of being slow on an 825. he was on the Orca, and he thought he was going to blow past me, and he didn't, because went to the Mike's Lab 700. But the minute I slowed down and I needed to pump myself higher or save myself, I just bam down to Davy Jones longer. It would drop me every time.
Look, I think it's interesting to think about like the foils, and it's funny, like if you're going to a more high aspect foil, faster foil, and what other people are doing. Like I'm trying. Well, I want to get to Ewan before I talk about myself, but Ewan, you go before I start yapping about that.
How's my riding changed? Well, I mean, 2025 was pretty much the year of parawinging becoming a sport, I feel, anyway, like properly. Past like towards the end of last year, I feel like it was becoming there, but it was still, only one or two brands had something that was usable, and it was still a little bit of a novelty, and people didn't really know where it was going. And now it's like really established. So I feel like for me, it was the same, like the start of the year. More towards the end of last year, I was getting into downwinding with it, just using it as a tool to get up. I think actually one of my first proper downwinders was on your setup in Melbourne on your BRM.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had a few.
So we had
here.
some good ones in the bay and in the ocean as well, some crazy ones. And then I had elbow injuries that, well, I had then as well. That was why I was going downwind, and then couldn't ride for a little bit, and then spent the whole majority of spring, summer kind of developing the hatch. And where I wanted to, being in Hood River, I wanted to use it to, stop getting in the cars and vans to go shuttling constantly. Obviously still love going for a shuttle run downwinder with friends a little bit, but, with the right people,
it's okay.
But just, the time on the water you get is so much more when you parawing upwind. Like even we have the current here, so it helps, but we have a short shuttle here, and I can still beat the guys leaving the car park. I ride upwind, and I'm at the start before they're even paddling out. So it that's what changed my riding. So I was getting so many more runs in a day, so much more time on the water. And then I think we started messing around. Actually, Kenny and Johnny were inspiring me with some riding, like doing some tacks and jibes and stuff with the Parawing and learning all that stuff, and then progressed to riding some foot straps and doing some slides and airs and all that kind of stuff, and just exploring what it's all got basically, and trying to figure out where the sport can go, and it keeps kind of surprising me, honestly.
Did you change much, like the gear that you're riding, foil wise? Are you still
I'm on similar stuff? We're also releasing 2 new foils and a whole new foil system and 2 new foils at the start of next year. So I've been riding a lot of those prototypes throughout the year, and actually just got in from trying one of the new small ones, kite foiling, high aspect 544. So that was fun. But they've been throughout the year just progressing with feedback and new, angles and tails and systems and profiles, and really honing that in. And that's, really enhanced my riding as well, just being able to have the foil allow you to ride better and conserve energy and push harder and all that kind of stuff, which is what everyone wants, I guess. If the foil feels easier and more stable, and you can ride harder because it just feels more confident, inspiring, and yeah. I guess
what mass size do you ride?
Changing between, I used to downwind on a 95, and then I went to an 85.
Whoa. 95?
And then I went to 75 for a while. Yeah,
that's a massive change.
And then I rode 75 for probably most half of this first year, and then went back to 85. Just and I think somewhere 85, 83, like Kenny was saying, I think is like a pretty spot on lengths. Just a mix of efficiency, able to turn hard on a good angle and all that. So yeah. But I think a big piece of gear that we've come out with that's helped and felt a lot same as what Sinbad was saying about construction and stuff was the hollow boards that we've been bringing out at the moment. Most of ours are in SUPs at the moment still, but the small one is a great Parawing board. But the hollow construction is crazy. You can't believe how light it is till you pick it up, and even if you're prepared, you still pick it up. You might pick it up too hard.
Like, wow,
it's crazy. Yeah,
it's gonna blow away in the wind. I tried an apple tree hollow core, and it was pretty good at Marimbula.
Yeah,
and that was sick.
Nice. Hey, is there like a
That's
little
good board.
noise going on? Or is that just me?
There's a little
No, I
static.
get
Like quite loud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that-
quite
is that what you mean, like a
loud
little
for
static?
me.
It could be my. I could turn my
I
fan.
can't
It
hear
might
it
be my
too
fan.
much. I'm just.
Let me turn my fan off.
Oh yeah, maybe turn the fan off, Sinbad.
Because it's warm here. It's Hawaii. It's not Oregon winter.
I got a hoodie on and it's summer.
Did it change? Did the noise stop?
It's
getting
a little
better.
better, yeah. I don't know if it was the fan or not, but sounds better now. It was quite
almost
loud.
Yeah, it
It's
almost sounded like it was raining.
Yeah.
It's the wind outside. Let me close my door.
It was just getting
I'm the
super
noisy
loud while I
one.
was talking, and I was wondering if you guys could even hear me.
There.
I can take
Cool.
that out in post. They have a good little thing
It
on
sounds-
this app
sounds
that
good now,
kind of removes
anyway.
all that noise.
That was the wind. That
yeah.
was the Maui breeze.
Oh my god.
So speaking
jealous.
of lightness, my board that Frank built me, he did it as a test to see how light he could get it. And I mean, I didn't ask for this, but he's like, I want to. So he basically sanded up all the paint. It's not bright and pretty like I'd like, but he got it down to 6.6 pounds. It's crazy. And then that F4 foil with that 11 mil mast is so light that like when we do runs from Hokipa, walking down that path and it's blowing 35, 40 miles an hour, like I have to double clutch my board. I'm so afraid it's going to blow out of my hands. But I'm not complaining.
Jeez, that's a light setup. Are you going to do the hollow core for smaller boards,
we've got,
Ewan?
I think right now the 68 Chimera is the smallest one that we've got, which is quite a good Parawing size anyway.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And that's got inserts in it, so it's a little heavier than the SUP, just because built-in inserts and all that.
What's
How much
the
does it weigh?
dimensions?
The 90-liter SUP is like 6 pounds, I think.
Whoa.
Maybe a little more. Don't quote me on it, but it's crazy light. And then the wingboard or Parawing whatever crossover board is a little heavier. I think that's more like 8 pounds or 8.5 because it's got inserts and a little more reinforcement. Yeah, and the dimensions on it's 68 liters. It's about 20 wide, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. We'll talk about boards because I do have a question about boards later on. And it was a big one for me this year. I think it was more around foil setup that changed. I was on an 80 mast for pretty much the whole time since I started parawinging, and now I moved to an 85. And it's just incredible. We had a big day. You would know this at Point Danger yesterday. It was like 6 to 8 foot swell, and it was just like 30 knots. So we were just getting the biggest bombs of our lives. And that 85 mast with the new surf wing from Code, that A10X, that was incredible. It was incredible. I think for me, the biggest thing was going from a higher aspect foil to those surf foils. And I'm loving them on the Parawing. It's a 8.5 aspect ratio, the one I'm riding now. And because I'm in a bay, it's totally fine to go out and do a downwinder on. In the ocean, it wouldn't work that well. But God, here in the bay, that's all I want to be riding. I haven't I haven't swapped it out for anything else since I put it on to the mast. It just sits there and I just pull it out in any condition here in the bay. So I think that's going to be a little bit of a trend, just going to surf your foils, and conditions allow, you'll be ripping so much more on them.
I agree. I mean, it's pretty clear a lot of people are going to that like 8 to 9 aspect ratio. I mean, our mid aspect is 8.5, 800 that I've been riding a lot, which is, I guess, pretty similar to that code. And that's just, once I put that on and had 1 or 2 good runs on it, I was just like, I don't want to ride anything else.
But I think it's
I
also
wish I had it for
specific
Hood.
to where you are. Yeah, like Hood River, you can ride
Yeah,
that, but
100%.
Maliko,
No, for like an
it's-
ocean down window, yeah, it
Mm-mm.
doesn't really work. But in waves and bay chop and Hood River chop, it's pretty prime.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I felt that even riding the Parawing, like going upwind, I'm so much faster on that. I can catch a lot more speed because the profile is thinner. The cord is bigger, but the profile is thinner. So you just blast. And the 85 mass is giving me that little extra edge to go faster on it when I'm really, going fast. So I'm just loving that setup now. And then I'm just tweaking tails depending on conditions, but I'm just going out on the A10 pretty much all the time.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to try the 700 yet?
I tried the 700 at Marimbula. I tried it on the kite.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different, the 700. So they scale down from A10. They go to a 740, which is awesome. And then the 700, it's a little bit different. It's more of a tow foil. Yeah, so they tweaked it a little bit. So it's doesn't feel the same, but it's still super fast. But the thing with those foils is really when you're going down the face, and I experienced this yesterday because there were just some bombs coming through. You go down the face and you never feel like you're exploding on the lift. And with the 85 mass, I was just cruising because it was choppy. It was 30 knots, so it was just everywhere. And I felt in control the whole time, and I was just like, oh my god, this is very easy to ride. It just feels like you're in like Marshmallow, like that super locked in feel, and very predictable. And it doesn't have a top end. Like I could never reach the top end of it. And I saw the GPS and the data. Top speed yesterday was 42 Ks coming down a face, so that's probably the fastest I've ever gone going down a wave. And it was like I didn't feel like I was going to explode on the A10, and it was keeping up with the big one. So I was pretty impressed. I was on the 120 tail, and they have a smaller tail, a 110, which would have been good. But as long as I got the drop and I got that speed, I was able to keep up. So it was a sick setup. That was awesome.
Nice.
Let's move on a little bit because I want to share some clips that you guys sent through. We all have our moments or things that we're thinking about doing, and then we go online and we're like, oh wow, there it is right there. So I asked all of you to send me a clip of what moment in 2025 made you stop and think, all right, shit, parawinging has just leveled up here. And it could have been anything from, a skill or a trick or a product or whatever. So we'll start with Ewan, and I'll share my screen here. So Ewan, you can talk about what you're thinking when you saw the clip that you sent through.
Yeah.
It's come up?
It looks like mallow.
All right.
So yeah, I guess this was not this exact. Obviously, this clip is like an example, but I think this was seeing a lot of the kids and some of the kids in Hood River as well this year kind of take the freestyle thing, showing the potential. I really like this, like these front rolls, front flips, whatever you call them, they do where they're fully cartwheeling over the Parawing. I think it just looks really sick, like really dynamic, and shows like potential for where that could go in the future. I think the Parawings will go and change a lot to be freestyle specific. I think you probably need something pretty different for this than what you would need for what I want to usually do, which is ride waves. But
yeah. Tell us a little bit about what you think has to be different on that pairing. That's an interesting thing to touch on.
you're gonna
like if
need
you were to design a freestyle
pretty
pairing,
like rapid steering, I think. But kind of like freestyle kites, like you want them to be quick when you need them to be quick, but you also don't want them to be twitchy, like when you're trying to hold it in one spot. And I think you can see this Parawing's kind of collapsing a bunch at different times, and I think that's obviously a collapse is going to make it slow through the air and stall and not as efficient. So maybe like more use of battens and rods and stuff in the profile will, I mean, like if you're doing this, you're probably not trying to collapse it all that much. So you could definitely work on the rigidity of the Parawing to kind of make it a more suitable tool, I think, for freestyle.
What about the aspect ratio? Do you think something lower aspect would be a little bit more prone to like boosting and stuff?
I can't imagine a high aspect Parawing is going to be great for that. So probably lower aspect, probably a little more arc for the stability as well, and the steering.
On the leading edge,
and like more wingtip and stuff as well. This one, I can't say that Parawing looks great, but I'd be interested to see him riding someone else's Parawing doing that stuff. I think we lost Kenny as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we did.
We lost Kenny.
He'll come back on.
He doesn't like freestyle.
I like this clip because he doesn't like freestyle. He just boycotted
like
the conversation.
straps.
He's like, nah, I'm not.
He doesn't like straps.
I'm dropping off the podcast.
That's
Yeah. But this clip, I mean, Malo's just a freak because it's so clean. Like, look at that front flip. Like, everything is so clean. And he lands. I think that my gripe with winging is always when you land and you just like, you know, like you don't keep going. And he's landing. He's powered. He's popping straight back on foil. So I definitely like what he's doing there.
Yeah. There he is.
We were just saying, Ken, that you boycotted the whole freestyle section of the podcast. You're like, nah, not having any of it.
I can't
He
hear.
has something in his hands.
I can't hear Daniel. He's just like a robot.
Oh no, it's probably Maui connection. I'll come back
now
soon.
I got you. Now I hear you.
Sweet. Well, let's go to your clip, Sinbad, because it's a similar vibe to what Ewan had here. Let me know when you can see that, Sinbad.
Oh, okay. I can see it. So.
All right, I'll play the clip and you can talk over it.
Okay. Well, I was actually there on the water when he was doing this, and when he did that board off, that just blew my mind because, I mean, I saw I've been with Kyle Lenny seeing him doing backflips and handle passes and all that stuff, but the board off, I'd never seen anyone do. And it just, like, my passion used to be big air kiting, and so when I saw that with this tiny, like, micro kite, it just made me think, like, the Parawing is so darn cool. It's a little micro kite.
It totally is. What he's on a 4.2 here. So do you remember how strong the wind was?
Yeah, it was windy. He was lit, but he's a young, strong kid. Like, he was lit.
He would have been so lit on that 4.2.
Yeah.
And the other thing, because I interviewed him not too long after I came back from Hood, and he said that he probably had like 2 or 3 sessions on the thing, and he was doing all that.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty natural transition from a hand wing. But the thing is, I want it to be like a kite where I could spin under it and the lines are going to spin. Because for me, like the hand wing, I always like just doing the frontside 360, which took me forever to learn. And I never was great at it, but I could do it. But that whole like swinging the wing through the wind. And with the Parawing, it's even gnarlier because to do that move, you got to add a kite loop into it. And I just wish it were more like a kite and I could cheat and the lines would spin.
Totally.
I'm excited for these guys to start getting into waves and like in the air and then either deploying or retracting it or just letting it go and then air into a section and then prone out. Oh, dude, that's going to be so sick. Or even better, you carry an extra one you carry an extra one in your pouch. You jump, eject, you fly or you air into a section, get down, and then as you after ride the wave, you pull it out of your pouch, your second one, ride it to the other one, and then just do circles like that.
That'd be
Give
epic
these kids
in the
more
hatchery.
things to do.
Oh, dude, it's going to be so fun. They'll come.
the hatchery, there's going to be
they'll
parawings
be doing some crazy stuff this year.
discarded all
Next year.
over the place.
Yeah, dodging
Landmines.
parawings instead of seaweed.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive to see everything that happened in Hood, really. And I didn't get a chance to actually meet Cash there, but yeah, Oscar was frothing on it as well. And it's cool to see all these guys coming from downwinding. They're all kind of, now that the races are done, everyone is parawinging. You see Kai Thompson, Jared Snow, like all the boys, James Casey, everyone, Josh Koo, everyone is parawinging now.
Yeah, once they feel that smaller board and that smaller foil, I don't see them going back to paddling a lot if the conditions are right. It just doesn't make any sense.
I saw Kai Thompson and Kane come in one day, and I was like, and they had tiny, like 30-liter boards, and I was like, did you guys like share a Parawing or something? Because they didn't have anything, and they said no, they just proned in at Hokipa and did a full 8-mile send, which is like on Oahu that's possible because there's surf breaks all along that you could chip in if you go down, but they went and did it with no, like once you're down, you're down, and they were loving it.
But those guys don't come down. They're so confident in their skill. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing that parawinging allows you to do. Mere mortals like me, I can have that same experience if I want to on a parawing. And it's not that hard, to be honest. Like, you can get to a 40, 50, even 60-liter board is really small. And you can have that experience of going downwind for miles on a surf setup. That's why I think it's so great.
Cash does downwind, too. I've seen him, like, in one of the practice races. Cash can paddle up and downwind, like. And he can do it all. I was in a race with him once, and I was like, oh my God, he's paddling. He can do it all.
Ken, you said something that kind of was interesting. You said that once these downwind guys experience the small board, they won't go back. Do you think there's a little resistance?
Oh, for sure.
In that change, because it is something that, they're dominating at right now, and they're going into something new.
Yeah, and then their ego probably is like they got so good at it, and they're so far ahead of anybody that's going to get into the sport that you almost feel like all that work you put into, you don't want to give it up, and you don't want to get rusty if the conditions suit that particular style of riding. But if the conditions are solid wind and swell, and I don't understand why you wouldn't ever, like, you should parawing every single time. It doesn't make any sense to do a downwind run.
Well, because I live it here with these people that are obsessed with it. I mean, they really are. Like, Kane can do it all, but he's still, and he loves the parawing, but he still like chooses the paddle just in these days, like that are really shitty conditions. They're on the WhatsApp chat, like, where are we meeting? And they're paddling. I don't think it's just about ego and then they got there. I think they're pushing the sport to such a level, like with smaller, faster foils, that they're into like the rush of getting from A to B. They're not into the pleasure of the surf that we are into with the parawing. So I don't see them giving up supping just to parawing, because they're really into the rush. I made it to be, an hour before I used to make it. So
I get that. And there is something to be said about getting into that flow state in a 20-kilometer run or whatever. It is different. You get into a different state, and you do get a lot of dopamine from connecting bumps and being really efficient and, top speed and everything. And yeah, I can see how that's attractive too. All right, let's move on to Ken. Now, Ken, we didn't quite find what we wanted for what you want to talk about, but we'll share this clip of Dimitri in Mauritius, and you can talk about what you think was impressive this year.
Yeah, I mean, getting into sets like this, I mean, in iconic waves, I think this is in Mauritius. This is One Eye, right? Sinbad, you said?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, to get in spots like that where I don't know how far offshore, but that's the huge thing with the parawing, is it could get you in these locations where you don't have to paddle 2 miles out and then you could be in these epic spots. Like Fiji could be an amazing spot where you could parawing way out to the certain breaks and just take advantage of a perfect set over and over and over again. I mean, it's pretty epic. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And then what Kai did at Jaws, I mean, it's going to open the doors for a lot of these guys that want to take the risk, I would say.
Yeah, and I guess what we were talking about that kind of really pushes the sport is, I mean, Dimitri here has it like flagged, not even stowed, but like actually stowing it in the belt and getting into a wave, redeploying. I think what do we really need different accessories and different gear to be able to get that done? Because, you know, stowing it to a belt isn't necessarily the fastest way to get rid of the Parawing right now.
Yeah, I like tossing it and having a second one.
Yeah, not bad.
That does sound like the nicest way. I was pretty surprised in Maui. Just this last trip was my first time really parawinging like it in waves. Like we had some really solid days at lowers and stuff, and uppers and kata and all that. And it's like compared to going straight downwind on a downwinder, stowing is so easy. Whereas stowing on a proper wave, like when you're building up line tension or you have to, especially if it's a right-hander with the wind coming from the right and you want to stow going left, or going upwind or whatever, it's so hard. Like you can kind of peel downwind and stow it, but still it's like, it's a lot harder stowing on a proper breaking wave than a bump where you can just stand there and take your time. So I do think there's still, there's parawings that are stowing easier and short lines and this, that, but there's still no like really good just instant stow for a wave, I don't think, which I think there's obviously going to be a future there. Tell Graham to get out of here.
Yeah. Ito Melbourne. Who's that? Oh, it is Graham.
Well,
Jesus.
a lot of guys here, it's not really the stow, it's you collapse on the wave, because if you spend the time to start like putting it away correctly, you actually lose a lot of the wave because you're concentrating on that and you're not ripping the wave. So like there's that. So I don't even stow. I just collapse when I ride a wave. I mean, I'm at Ka, they're like the baby waves, but there's still waves. And I just also want to have my wing ready, because if you go downwind where the meatiest part of the waves are, then it's full on reef, and you screw up the deploy. I mean, it's just hazardous on you and your foil. I don't know. So I don't ever really stow on a wave, but I agree with the collapse. And I think this power pack that Ozone has, I haven't, obviously, because I've only had a short session on it, tried to collapse it going into the wind. But I think it might be possible by the way they've developed it. It might be easier per se than like others to collapse with pressure, like going into the wind a little instead of going downwind.
Yeah, I definitely think those rings and stuff that like cinch it up might be easier.
Yeah,
just because it's not on your
but
hands.
They damage the lines.
Yeah,
there's
got to be like some sort of ripcord that you can pull that just cinches it into your vest or something like that. Because I same thing. Like sometimes I just collapse it and don't stow it, but I get so annoyed by the thing just blowing around, like getting the can. I want it to feel like I've got nothing in my hands. Like that's what I really love about it. So then I was trying as well, going out the back at Kata and trying to get on it so far out so that you don't lose the wave, like you were saying. But before it breaks, when it's that far out, the bumps are moving so quick that if you're on like the foil that you want to be on the inside, it's not keeping up too well on the outside. So yeah, it's definitely a hard one.
Sam Reynolds does it the best with the original pocket wing. He takes, like you're saying, he goes way, way out. He catches it way out. He's on a tiny board. He's just that two-handled, like nobody else can ride like he can.
Yeah.
And the way it collapses, I've ridden it. It's the only Parawing that absolutely just collapses. Like you go like that, and the thing just falls out of the sky. There's none of this stroking. So he collapses wads and he shoves it in his little pouch and he rides hands free every ride. Like, it's pretty impressive. No, I've never seen anyone do what he does.
Does he redeploy it properly?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, no, he
Hey, Ewan.
rips.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. One thing
Yeah.
you got to try, I kind of unlocked it last time at Kaha, is you pack it down out on the outside set, and then as you get in the soft stuff or where it's going to start to reform, you work your way upwind and just basically take the elevator upwind, and then when you get in that next section, you ride your section, and then just like prone, you pump your way out to that third section and ride it again, and use the soft section as elevator to get upwind. Because when you're pumping back out at Kaha, you got a trail or wind behind you, so it actually helps you pump into the outside sections. So I unlocked that last time. Obviously, if it's busy, it's going to be harder, but it was pretty cool that you could keep it deployed
and still
packed down a long time.
I was definitely trying to say my favorite loop as well was coming through Qatar. I'd go down the bottom of the boneyard up to Nash Beach, and then back out through the channel between the boneyard and lowers, and tack out to near uppers, stow out there, and then downwind from there to Qatar, and then pump around like looking for waiting for a set, and then pull onto a set and ride it all the way down through Qatar, redeploy, and then just do that loop. That was, but last few days that was my loop
on high tide.
I saw your I saw what JD filmed.
Yeah,
I saw JD's film of you.
Laps. Yeah,
I saw it. It was good.
That's it.
I was like, he's downwinding, but wait, now he's in the wave at Ka. So yeah, I saw it.
That was the lap. Yeah.
That was nice. Okay.
Pretty tough though. I mean, you just described there like 3 pretty hard skills you need to have in order to do that. Like, you need to ride the Parawing, you need to be able to surf, and you need to be able to go downwinding to understand what you just said.
Yeah.
So are we kind of like, do we need just to get better at the thing so we can start riding? Because it's also so spot dependent. Like, it's going to be different in every spot.
I mean,
like if you're talking about waves.
I mean, I wouldn't say beginner level, but it's not like, I don't think it's that out of the question, especially on like a smaller day or like on a bigger foil or whatever. Like it just gets so much easier or harder depending what gear you ride as well. You can make parawinging super easy. I've taught people like that everyone thinks it's super hard, but it's because everyone's idea of parawinging was, I can ride the tiniest board and the tiniest foil and blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of hard, but like if you want to teach someone on a big parawing and flattish water on a big board and a big foil, it's especially for people who've kited, it feels like it's not that hard. So I don't think any of these skills are too far off. I think people just kind of start with the idea of a sinker board and a tiny foil and then struggle a little bit. Whereas I think if you just spend more time actually doing it on easy gear, then that kind of stuff gets unlocked pretty quick.
Yeah. I'm going to share one clip because we got tons to cover here, but I'm going to throw a little confetti your way there, Ken. Let me know when you guys can see this.
I wish it had a video of when Ewan and me and Johnny were like teaching each other how to do stuff. It was a lot of fun actually. And it was seeing like the tack, was it the trash bag tack?
This one. This one, and I got yarded trying this.
That one can get you good if you're in the wrong position at the wrong time, kind of thing.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, for me, this was cool because I was just in my little pocket of no one doing parawinging here. Did you come before or after Hood?
To
you
Melbourne?
Came before, didn't you? It was
December, January.
Yeah. So you were probably the only one that I had ridden with, like before I went to Hood. And when I got to Hood and I saw this, I'm like, holy shit. Okay, this is next level. Because all of these tricks, like, it just reminded me of kite foiling and how much fun you can have on the Parawing, using the Parawing like you do with the kite when you kite foil. So this was a big eye opener. And just seeing like simple tricks like the handle pass jibe and things like they're super easy, but they're super fun, and they make your riding look nice. You know, you have a variety of tricks that you can do when you're doing turns. So I think there's so much to be explored in different types of jibes, different types of tacks. Ken, we were talking about that tack where you come out of the tack with like a Parawing loop to get powered. Sometimes you just pass, the point of the tack, and it's just easier just to continue with that loop. So I think maybe this year, this is something that I'm like, oh, I would love to explore this kind of style of riding. And I remember texting you, Ken, and saying, what do I call this? Is it free ride? It's not freestyle, but it's like just free ride. And you're like, I don't know. But this got me really excited. It was really eye-opening to what could be done. And seeing Johnny ride for the first time as well was just crazy. And when you two were in the water at the same time, it was probably the best because you guys are like two little velociraptors at each other. So that was cool to watch.
Yeah, Ewan was doing good too. He was everything we were doing. He was copying. He was catching on quick.
So, yeah,
I'm
he's
waiting
no
for you to
slouch.
backwind
No,
it.
he's no slouch.
Yeah.
Backwind it.
Kenny,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to backwind the Parawing.
Hey, speaking of that trash bag tack, Ewan, you got to try it on the kite with the handle pass.
Yeah. I've been thinking that as well.
I got yarded. You got to do it super underpowered, and you got to make sure it doesn't loop.
Have you managed to do
It will loop, but
like round the world yet on the Parawing?
yeah, we were doing them up there, but it's easier when the wind is nice and consistent, not too windy, because it kind of gets blown into, but you can do it.
So
Johnny's
quick
really good
'cause
at
it's
it.
such short lines, like
Yeah.
without the handle pass to do. Yeah, it has to be light wind as well. Yeah,
You got to basically backfly it, and then you just go at it real quick.
I should try that.
I've been trying them on the one wheel. I got a one wheel, Ken. You told me to get one. I got one.
They're great practice.
They are. I got the biggest burn on my leg now because of it. I don't have that wheel cap, and I let my rear leg go, and it just like on my ankle. I don't know if you can see that right there. Got the biggest burn now. So thanks for that. But it is really good to learn. And when you're riding it, because you're riding it when it's like 5 knots or whatever, so there's no wind. That's when I'm on the one wheel. You get these ideas of what to do and how to throw the Parawing around. So it's definitely something worth exploring if you're comfortable on a skateboard or something like that.
Yeah.
Getting that going on the Parawing is pretty cool.
I mean, and if you wing still, you could ride it when you're fully powered up, and you could practice backwinding, and it's very, very accurate is how it feels backwinding. When it's powered up, you can lean into it and ride it.
Yeah.
You could learn a lot, actually.
Well, I'm just going to show this last clip because it is something that like kind of got Parawinging out in the mainstream, and it is Kai at Jaws. Which is pretty cool to see. I think even though he's over here, so this is him coming out. The worst stow in the world, but he got away with it.
See, like there, I think you'd probably lose a Parawing, but you could probably ditch it, throw it above the wave, and then have your spare. On those type of days, there's no really reason to stow it, I don't think, or even pack it that way. I mean, then you don't have to worry about falling into it if you get tumbled. So you're better off ejecting it and then having a spare one if you make the wave, and then you could get your way out of it, and then you could just go pick up your other one later. So that would probably be safer in these conditions.
See the jet
Even
ski
to pull that in like that. Yeah. So he got towed into this with the jet ski, but then he stowed it, which there's so much wind coming up that wave that just getting to the leading edge would have been super challenging. But that's freaking
Well, you can
gnarly.
see he grabs at it. Like he doesn't even go up the lines. Like he did. It's pretty amazing. He got the thing out of the air at all.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's still flying.
Like, then he
grabs the leading edge.
That is one nice thing about the Ozones is you could even under full load, you could pull those A's and it'll collapse it under full load, which a lot of the brands won't. They won't fully depower.
The one thing that the Power Pack does that I saw was really interesting is so they kind of separated the external A's from the middle A's.
Yeah.
So that's something that I always used to do. Just put a little electrical tape. Tom, he gave me that tip in Hood, and I was just as a reference, it was easier to do that. And then they separated it, so when you pull it, like the wingtips actually flag out, so that helps you just get to the canopy pretty quick. I thought that was pretty smart.
Yeah.
Well, and the canopy won't twirl. Like if you go up all
Mhm.
that, the pocket rocket had such a high aspect wingspan, so you couldn't collapse the whole leading edge. So if you didn't do everything quickly, it could grab wind and spin. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
power pack is it's a totally different animal. But yeah, that center line thing is, I think we'll be able
I
to
thought it was
collapse
pretty
it
smart.
under power.
I hope so, because I think that kind of style of parawing, short lines, low aspect, and with decent upwind is an amazing choice for wave riding. Apart from
Ken-
downwinding, which is
Kenny
fine. I
doesn't
think
know because
downwinding you
his
can
is
get away with
lost
it.
in transit.
Yeah, funny that happened, Ken.
I'm going to steal Jesse's. It's all good.
You're behind on the queue, man. All right, let's go into the next question. What do you still feel is missing in parawinging? We'll start with you, Sinbad, on this one.
Well, funny you should ask, because I have been developing a product, and it's coming out soon. Right now, I've been testing on Maui for a couple of weeks, and I've given the idea to Keholi leash. So it's a
Mhm.
Parawing specific board leash. Because
Nice.
we all hate coils, and the Parawing lines just tend to grab onto those coils. So a lot of us here on Maui went to these like Dyneema bungee leashes without the coil, and they were all great until they
Mhm.
weren't. Where because we're in heavy conditions here. My friend Elliot had his leash plug rip out because the bungee it has such a aggressive yank.
Mm.
He's not the only one. He ripped his leash plug out. I ripped in one just casual wipeout, ripped my leash cord in half that's on the board connecting the leash.
Yeah.
And then two other people had the Velcro rip open on the leash attachment on the board and on the cuff. So that wasn't ideal. Some people have gotten away with it
Mhm.
with small boards and less violent conditions. But so um, I developed a leash that I hope is going to be epic. And Keholi is working on it now and making prototypes,
Nice.
and hopefully they'll be out in a couple weeks.
Sick. So are we talking about a waist leash, ankle leash?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it as an ankle leash, but only a few people like that. I don't like it because I tend to step on it. But you can do it as an
Mm.
ankle leash, but it's designed as a waist leash.
Nice.
And then
Yeah.
one
Well,
other
I
thing.
think
Oh,
yeah.
one other like Elliot LeBeau and Thomas Winkler and I are also have come up with a really cool solution that you could parawing and subfoil and have your paddle and not have it on your back. So we're developing that also. So I mean that's not as crucial as the board leash, but it's a new item that might come out that people might be stoked on.
Nice. What happened to that 3-piece paddle that you were talking about a little while back? Do you still use it?
Oh, I never got the 3-piece because I didn't want to have to sit on my board, take the paddle off and put it together. So Quick
Yeah.
Blades made me, and it's epic, this paddle, and I will be using it with this new system we're developing. It's a reverse telescoping with just where it clicks down. It goes down to like maybe 38 inches and then goes to my full length, whatever I ride, 75 or something inches with one click button. And I still use it, and it's ultra light, ultra epic. And that's going to be incorporated.
Sick.
I had that on a backpack, like a rubber band, like a tire in a tube. backpack situation, so it was short, and my Parawing lines didn't get involved in it.
Hmm.
But what Ellie and I are working on is probably better than that.
Well, if Elliot's involved, I'm keen. Um, cool. Ewan, what do you think is missing, bro?
I think it's all just gonna keep evolving. I don't think there's like one specific thing right now that I could think of.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything's just gonna keep getting better, and people are just gonna be. There's always gonna be the latest thing that's really good, and then the next people are gonna want to beat that. And yeah, I think for getting people into the sport, I think that's probably the one thing that's missing, like an easier in, just to grow it, grow the category a bit more.
Is that the plume though?
No,
Like if you're talking about
No.
an
No.
entry level Parawing, no?
no.
It teaches you how to fly it.
Yeah, but at least
Uh-uh.
right now, it's not very entry level because it needs a lot of wind. But also it's not.
Mm.
I don't think it's enticing anyone to do it because it just doesn't really. To me, I mean, I think to a lot of people, honestly, it doesn't make any sense. So
It was a
yeah,
surprise when it came out.
I just don't see it. So I think just an actual Parawing that's easier to learn on, and like once the industry starts figuring out, you know, like the best beginner setups, like everyone's kind of has with winging, to like, you know, really grow it and make more people want to get into it. Because even right now, there's a lot of, you know, decent wingers that are kind of still scared to, or worried about trying to learn to Parawing, or think it's too hard, and just the accessibility, getting that better. And otherwise, I think it's just going to be a constant progression. I mean, that's also a progression. So
What's when you talk about like an entry level Parawing, and I'm curious about this topic because I do think that's something critical for the whole industry to solve, because that makes the sport accessible. When you talk about beginner friendly, is it low aspect? But if you do a low because it's easier to get up, right? So you would have that low end power, but then going upwind is a little bit harder. Like, what's
yeah,
the
I mean,
balance
it's kind
there?
of everything. You can't really just take one design parameter like aspect ratio, or, you know, bridle line length, or the profile that you use, or any of that. It's kind of a mix of all of that, and also putting in like the bar feel as well. Like you notice if you fly lots of different Parawings, they all feel like completely different products. Like if you know, if you're good at them, you could close your eyes and be like, yeah, this is an F1, this is Nash, this is an Ozone, like kind of thing. They all have very specific feels. I think having them able to pump better will help beginners, because right now you need that foil and board skill to get up on foil quite a lot. Like if you're not engaging your foil, you're not really getting up on foil unless you're, you know, in Hood River and you get hit by one of those 50-knot bullets where you can't not get on foil. But I think that just having equipment that, I mean, people when they're learning are like, not everyone, but a lot of people are quite timid when they're learning, and, you know, hesitant to really shake the thing and really pump the board and really put, you know, it's hard if you're not, also you'll throw yourself off balance if you're not good by putting too much aggression in. So having gear that, you know, is more just stand there and get on foil type equipment, will, I think, help get a lot of people over that hump of learning and get more people into it, which, I mean, the rate it's growing already, I don't think there's going to be a huge issue, but I think it's, yeah, that would be the next step.
Kenneth, what are we
Yeah,
thinking is still missing?
I would agree with you, and I think we could get a Parawing that maybe has a trim system, a little bit more structure, a little bit easier just to fly, and easier characteristics to depower it. A little bit slower moving, and just kind of ease of use could help people get in the sport. But biggest thing is getting them on the right board and foil to help them get to the level of being comfortable and not being in a position where they have to go out in super overpowered conditions and struggle. And that's probably what's forcing people not to learn. So, yeah. And the other thing, I think adjustable like bar length, I'm excited about. I think that could be coming, where you could have like a system that turns on the bar that shortens and lengthens the line, so you could get a little bit more power and throw out of it.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So, and then the material side, I'm excited about the material, maybe changing, maybe doing something like Dyneema or something like that. Would be fun.
What would the Dyneema give you in terms of performance?
I think the water shedding, and then the lightness, the stiffness, maybe more higher performance, and then you'll start to get to the racing scene. I think eventually.
Yeah.
I think seeing Teo dominate the wing race kind of shows you what is possible with these Parawings. It's basically a mini kite. So
yeah, I think whenever you get to the racing, that's when we get into material development, and we're getting to that 5% that you just really push when you're, in that F1 kind of space, I guess.
Yeah.
I think for me, the thing that I still freaking hate about downwinding is if I'm doing a downwinder and I'm pretty offshore and I'm, an ocean downwind kind of thing, I hate those Vycobi vests. I absolutely hate them. They're the worst. Like it's not for foiling. They're meant for you to sit in a canoe and paddle. Like they don't have to be short and thick. So for me, I'm all about like getting better accessories out there. And I think like an impact vest with everything on it, like just give me everything. I want to be able to downwind. I want pockets. I want stow, front stow, back stow, just everything, hydration, the whole lot. Like I think there's so much more. And I would use it even if I'm doing laps. If the thing is good enough and it has, harness, lines and hooks all connected, like there is a way to do a vest that has everything that we need. So I feel accessories in general, we can explore something like we were talking about, something that's just for wave riding, where if you do fall and you have the Parawing, you don't want the Parawing to come out of the belt. And sometimes even just getting rolled and like a wave, the Parawing came out of my belt. So those kind of things I think we have like so much to improve on still. So specific accessories for specific disciplines is where my head's at.
I'm surprised they don't do like the PFD vests, the orange ones, like have inflatable sections that you could pop it open whenever you need to actually use it instead of having them basically all puffed up all the time.
Basically, yeah, there's heaps.
Yeah.
I had a friend wearing one on a downwind run and it inflated on him. And he just, Rudy, no. he had his rash guard over it too. So he was like this big Michelin man. There was nothing he could do. And he's downwinding Maliko all blown up.
That's funny. All right, this next question is kind of fun. What is one piece of gear advice that most riders don't follow? And I'll start with you on this one, Ken.
Oh, board and foil.
Yeah.
To get in the right board and foil underneath your weight, as far as what your weight is and your talent level. It's like starting winging over it, unfortunately, until you get comfortable with it.
Yeah. I'll go
I
around.
agree with
Cynthia,
Kenny.
what do you think?
I totally agree. Mostly board. There's people who are so stubborn. They're like, I got my 40-liter board and it's going to be fine. It's like, dude, you've been learning for like a year now and you still
6 months. Yeah.
No, a year and you still can't ride. You can't get into the waves.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you guys.
Yeah,
what do you
pretty
think?
Similar.
Ewan?
I'd also say like maybe being really stubborn to like only stick to one once they're like, oh, I'm Parawing and that's all I do now. And then going like when the condition, like, I mean, sure, if, you can, you've had to sell the rest of your gear to get your Parawing set up and that's all you got. But most foilers have a lot of equipment. And I think still doing what the conditions are best for is pretty important. And I think you just get better at foiling if you do the right thing all the time. Like if it's 10 knots, go for a kite foil, which I think kite foiling is still crazy underrated. It's got to come back. So Dude, that's what I was doing before this podcast, and it's so good. It's so good. You taught me how to kite foil. I don't even know if you remember that, but every summer you would come back to Melbourne, you would teach me,
either kite foiling, then the next one was winging, and then you didn't come back, so then I started downwinding. But it was those things that when now I get the Parawing, you know how to do all those things, and the Parawing is just second nature.
and just exactly being able to have the experience in all of them, it all ties together, like your wing experience, your SUP experience, your prone experience, like any type of foil sport, they all tie together so well. And I think just people being too stubborn or saying that kite foiling's lame or this is whatever, it's like, I think that's probably it for me. Yeah.
My excuse was it was for the old crew. And when I blow up my knees, I'll do it. And then I tried it once and sold all my twin tip gear and just did that forever. So, but all of us have kite foiling experience, winging, like that's why I think you can explore the Parawing a lot better. And I feel like if people come from winging, they start Parawinging, all of a sudden they'll be like, what if we throw 15-meter lines on the Parawing, you know? And then you're like, oh yeah, we should. You know,
Did
in
that.
15 knot days, they're pretty fun. Did you?
No. I
Did
mean,
you convert a Parawing to?
No. I came from kite foiling. So no.
Yeah.
I'm saying we did. I
that's it.
did that back like in the 90s. Yes.
Yeah, well,
90s.
Before Kenny was
90s.
born. I was kite foiling before Kenny. I actually was. I was kite foiling the air chair with snowboard boots, the whole deal. So yeah, it was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. And what I'll do as well, I'm going to link all the podcasts because we all had conversations and we did dive into that stuff with you, Sinbad, which was awesome. How you started and, how early you were into all of these sports and even Parawinging with that parachute.
That's because
contraption.
none of you guys were born yet. So when
someone
Kenny's
had to do it. Jeez.
Kenny's talking about the bar that it just links. I know that bar, Floby. The guy that invented the hair cutting was in La Ventana like in 2001, and he had developed the Floby bar, and he would jump up and down and like shorten, like so he could self-launch and land his own kite.
That's crazy.
He would shorten the lines by ratcheting it. And one day, and the thing was so heavy, one day a gust hit him. It ripped it out of his hands, and the whole kite with this like 40-pound bar went sailing off into the desert.
It's coming
Good old
back.
days. Bring it back. Well, that's what we want.
Yeah.
What's the most innovative product launched in 2025?
I like the Radix system at the show. I mean, I'm excited that people are actually thinking about doing Tuttle, adjustable Tuttles.
Yeah. Can you explain that a little bit? Because not everyone saw that or might know what that is.
It's basically the track is inside the Tuttle, and it has two T-nuts that you could slide the Tuttle back and forth on the board, and then it tightens from the top side or basically the bottom side. It's kind of hard to explain. You'd have to see the video, but it is an adjustable Tuttle. And then we also designed one with Michael McKinley, which is in the Bay Area, adjustable Tuttle as well. So I think you're going to see a lot more Tuttles coming, especially I think a lot of these manufacturers going to the skinny mast. Then they're going to want it, as the riders get better, they're going to want a more performance mast as far as stiffness. And in the wing sets, as big as these wing sets are getting, you're going to want a really stiff mast. And I think the layup that you could do on a Tuttle mast is far superior versus the plate. So I think you're going to see a lot of the high-end riders wanting to go more to the Tuttle. So it'll be interesting how many people are going to switch.
Yeah, I saw Apple Tree with something like that at AWSI. That looked pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Sinbad, what's the most innovative product we saw this year for Parawinging?
I don't know if it was innovative. I just think it was one of the better products was the Ozone Stash Belt, which, I mean, every Parawinger from around the world, no matter what the Parawing they're using that belt because it's just simple and it works. And, I mean, it
you
wasn't
designed it.
Well, I just had a little hand in it, but but it did.
She's biased.
She's
I
a
mean,
little
my
biased.
sin sack was pretty good before. Penny had a custom sin sack before the ozone stash belt, and it was it was just like a rudimentary homemade thing, similar that did great. It was tiny, and you could jam your whole wing in there and forget about it. But that's
But the cool
my
thing about
opinion.
that belt is the introduction of the Lycra, which for
That-
me
well, that's-
was really
that
what
was
made it.
That was my idea.
Yeah.
Was the Lycra.
And good on you. Have some more of those ideas because we need them. But you're right. Like, I think in Hood, 90% of the riders had that belt. Even whatever, it doesn't matter what Parawing they were on, they were using that belt. And still today, it's there's nothing else that is better. Mine is a little saggy. I need a new one. You know what we need? We need a way to replace the Lycra, because if that gets damaged, you need a whole new belt. So we need maybe some zippers or something that we can replace that, just that component, just that bit of the belt.
Yeah, we got a
They
new
have
belt coming out.
They have a new
as
one
well.
coming.
Yeah. Different materials.
Talk about your belt. Different materials.
No, it's
Lycra?
not Lycra. It's like a very stretchy mesh type material that, like, the links are so small that nothing can go through it. It's not like big mesh, but
Nice.
it's cool because the water drains out of it straight away, and also stretchy, and it's pretty tough. It's yeah.
Yeah. Does it compress the Parawing?
Yeah,
like, is
it's
it
stronger
strong?
than
Like, is it
Lycra.
tight enough?
Similar stretch, maybe not quite as much stretch as a Lycra, but far like more stronger elastic. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
So anyway, that's a Pro Limit pouch that's coming out. I think they're finished making them in about 3 or 4 weeks, and then they're small, so they ship out. So yeah, 6 weeks probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
not too long. Start of the year, have a look at Pro Limit.
Is it by
Ken,
Pro
what do you
Limit?
think was the?
Sorry.
Is it by Pro Limit that makes the wetsuits, or is it?
Well, I kind
Okay.
of did it, but I kind of designed it with Pro Limit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think an upper chest, like where you slide it in upper chest, is an idea of maybe coming?
Yeah, the slide in the side for me, I don't know, like I guess F1 have that one as well.
It's hard.
It's hard, and to keep it all clean
hard.
is really hard
Yeah.
because I like stashing it in and putting my bar on top so that when you pull it out, you can separate them. Sometimes I also slide it in, turn it around, and stick the bar through just the strap in the front so that I keep them nicely separated.
Oh, yeah.
So then I can, when I twist it around, then I pull the bar out first, twist it around, and then pull it out, and I've already got it in 2 hands, so they're not getting tangled. But
I'm thinking for the second one more than anything. Like I like to carry them on the back, but I'm thinking if you had it on the front, you could switch them out while you're riding, which is kind of nice in a way.
I had a pouch with 2 pockets inside, like 2 internal pockets, so you could put 2 in front of each other. But
does that work, or is it hard to actually find the pocket?
I mean, we're not making it, but the idea was kind of there. But
could do maybe instead of going like one
side by
overlaying
side.
each other, just 2 separate pockets.
No, it was 2 separate pockets.
Yeah, as a different orientation of the pockets, really. Sinbad, you were going to say something?
Well, I tried the very first. I tried side stuffing, and it's too hard. Like, you need to put your hand in the other way and pull it through. So I mean, I tried that in the very, very beginning, and then when we go down, when you need to bring 2, I just bring like the ozone, which is so easy in and out, and then I bring my little sin sack, which is a separate little Lycra sack, super tight, cinched, so it doesn't get waterlogged, and you can change on the fly. So I can see the chest, you could change on the fly, but like the backpack thing, I mean, Ozone's coming out with this waterproof backpack thing with a second wing, but like you have to get off foil to change wings. So I mean, I guess it's for an emergency, it's great, but if I need to change wings on the fly, I like to have it around my waist.
Still be a little work to be done there. Yeah. I guess from my point of view, I don't have a product that I think was, revolutionary or anything, but I do like the kind of crowdsourced ideas that are coming through, the Facebook groups and people just building and 3D printing stuff. So, and I think probably the product that kind of was a paradigm shift was, the harness loops that you connect onto the bar and you hook onto the bar. It's kind of like rethinking about how to do it. Instead of having a fixed point on the bar that you hook in like a kite, the hook is on your belt and then you pull that onto the bar. I felt that was just a clever way of thinking about it. And I think if I were to use, because I don't use a harness, I don't like it. But if I were to use it, that's probably how I would use it, because then I'm doing, I don't know, a big leg upwind or something like that. And I don't need to have that quick kind of like hooking in, hooking out, hooking in, hooking out. So I thought that was pretty smart. A guy called Michael Shepard came up with that little hook that you can clip on your bar, little bar clips. Like those things are popping up all the time. So it's cool just to follow that innovation and see how people are solving their problems while things are not coming out.
What's interesting is that Greg had that hook, like the very version 1 Maliko. Greg, that's what Greg was using here in Maui, was the hook on a rope. And I tried it. I mean,
I
this
think
is
it
like,
works great.
it does if you're strong enough to hold. For me, I can't do it because I don't like to let go of the bar and then hook something on. But it's funny because when it was developed like in the very beginning, just the rest of the world didn't see it.
I didn't see it at all. I didn't even know he had that.
Yeah, he did. I don't know if he sold it on his website or whatever, but he showed it to me, like back Maliko V1 days. That's
Wow.
what he was using. And then he abandoned it and went to the fixed loop.
Do you guys all use harnesses
Yeah.
and love hooking in while you're riding?
Why do you not?
All
yeah.
right.
Then you, yeah.
Look, I don't know. I think in the beginning I had it and it really helped me when I was learning. But then I started to get these little tangles on the hook and things like that, and I just ditched it. And then I'm like, well, I don't really need this. And I do sessions. I did a session here in St. Kilda. I was out for 2 hours and 50 minutes, did 50 kilometers on the Parawing, and I was unhooked for the whole time. And I just got
Wow.
used to it. It got me, you know what it feels
Popeye.
like now? It got me back to like cable
Yeah.
riding, where it's like, it's actually like physical, and I'm kind of enjoying that physicality of it. And now I'm just used to riding it like that, and it's fine.
Yeah, definitely. Like if I'm trying to do an upwind session, I definitely upsize my board, and downsize my Parawing. That's kind of, and just cruise upwind, as opposed to downwinding. Then I'll take a big Parawing and a small board.
The opposite,
But
really.
that's kind of horrible to go upwind on when you're that powered up.
Yeah. What's the smallest board you guys have been able to ride?
33. I've done a few times. It's just not really worth it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
45 for me.
Whatever.
Yeah. 42.
Kenny left here at the house.
What was yours,
40
Sinbad?
something. I don't know.
45.
45,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like 42, 45.
It's
Yeah.
fine for me because I'm
Mm.
light enough, but yeah, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I'm at 80 kilos, which is whatever in pounds. 170, 180.
180.
Yeah.
183.
But
Yeah.
like a 53-liter board is like my downwind board when I know it's on and I want to go downwind on a small board. And then I have a 58 or a 60. 68 is what I usually use if I'm just cruising around, staying upwind, and can use a smaller Parawing because that 68 I can get floating with like not much power at all, and then kind of just pump it up onto foil. But yeah, definitely still using a harness line though. That's crazy that you
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Popeye.
know why, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody says, what are you doing? And I just don't like that hook dangling there. And it's so easy to solve. It's literally like a little neoprene pocket in the webbing that you just stuff it in. Like, there's just no one who did that. And I should have done it because I learned how to sew recently because I'm sewing stuff as well. And it's
yeah, I do
something easy to
usually
solve.
like to not have it tangle, if I'm gonna stash my Parawing, I'll like turn my harness around first before, because otherwise you'll get the lines on the hook. And if you turn the belt around first, so the pouch is at the front, then there's nothing for it to catch on. But I don't really, other than that, I don't really find it getting caught any other time. And yeah, I just use like a piece of Spectra line with a pigtail on my bar as like a 2-point harness line, which I much prefer over the single point.
And the single point also has kind of like that rigid plastic.
It just gets in tangles all the time as well
bulky
when you're like redeploying.
Yeah. And when I did use it, I had the same thing. I had 2 little bowl lines connected to the bar, and I was just on a Dyneema, 4-mil Dyneema, and that was fine.
The right engine chest harness, that's the reason why I went to that versus the waist belt.
Tangles.
Because the lines just kept on getting caught. So the chest, it doesn't get caught at all.
You've been riding that for a while now. Do you think you it's a better riding position as well when you're powered up? Do you feel you can hold a little more because it's on the chest?
For the bigger sizes, because you could get the wing or the Parawing basically parallel to the water. And same with regular winging. The bigger sizes, you could get them more vertical. So it's just more comfortable hooking in. So
yeah. And you can fit a Parawing in the backpack?
Yeah, that's a big advantage too. And water, whatever you want in the back, which is nice.
Nice. All right, let's move on because we're at 1 and we're not doing too bad on time. This is the last question before our rapid fires. So I don't have an answer to this one, but what is the one thing you're confident will change in Parawinging next year, and the one thing that won't?
Sure.
Who didn't start one yet? Let's start with you. You didn't start one, did you?
I'm confident brands will come out with more than one model, every brand.
Yeah.
For different disciplines. Is this a rapid fire or do I elaborate?
No. This is the last one before the rapid fire.
Yeah,
you can
I just
elaborate.
think what you need for each thing is so different. So, I mean, it's same with kites, same with wings. It's like, the starters always, you only need one that, is pretty good all around. And then as any sport progresses, the little like disciplines within it progress and separate themselves out, and what you need is just so different. So I think, the pretty obvious one to start with is the upwind cruising, easy upwind Parawing with maybe slightly longer bridles and more stability, and then a super grunty one for the guys, girls that want to go downwind. And then you're going to start seeing, race ones, obviously, and freestyle ones and wave riding ones and whatever else. It's going to, start happening.
Nice. Is that a little tip of what's coming in the pipeline for Nash? Good stuff. And the hatch, when where would you put the hatch?
Yeah,
in that
that's
kind of
first, we had our morph come out like pretty early days. It was like one of the first Parawings. The hatch was just our first, all-rounder, have a good Parawing out there. And then now we've kind of got a good base to work off. We can start, progressing that style, progressing the downwind style, progressing, I think once you start getting into those disciplines, especially race and stuff, though, it's a lot of development time, a lot of testing, a lot of work. And I personally don't have probably the time to dive deep into a race Parawing. That would kind of be all consuming, I think, once that starts becoming a discipline. I'm sure. You look at the race kites and stuff like that. It's pretty specialized. And as well, you see like the ozone fly surfer battle that's always happening in the kite race scene. It's like they make a 1% gain and all of a sudden all the rest of the stuff's obsolete, and the 1% gain product is like the one for a year, and then ozone will come out with their 1% gain and all the fly surfer kites are dead so I don't know if it's like a Nash is not like a racing pedigree brand that's really dedicated to that, and I think it's going to be probably the same type of brands that were in kite foil racing taking over wing racing. They've got the expertise and the knowledge. So, yeah.
Yep. I think, Nash's pedigree is very much wave riding. So let's see that wave riding Parawing, bro. That's what we want from you. And the other thing that I wanted to ask you, and because so now you're the designer of not only the kites but the Parawings. What do you feel a hybrid Parawing can give us, like half single skin, half double skin?
Yeah,
is that
for
a
sure.
thing?
That's-
Do you
I
think that's
think-
going to give us any?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the double skins so far that I've seen have not really done it for me. Like, they haven't really shown the benefit, I would say, yet. Maybe for racing. I mean, definitely for racing.
Yeah.
But for everyday,
Everybody's nodding here,
for
so I think
everyday
everybody
use,
agrees.
they're just, I think, more pain than what you get out. You're using so much more canopy, such a big Parawing. People are sinking them, getting them stuck. Like, it's like hard to get up on foil. So I just don't see that yet. But the hybrid, then you can, at least you can have a much more powerful canopy. You can still stash it pretty easily. Like, it's going to be a bit more stable. You can work with different angle of attacks. And I think the hybrids are going to definitely start becoming a little more, well, they're not really popular at all yet, but you see some snow kites and paragliders and stuff that are hybrids. That's kind of definitely a way. There's definitely a spot for them.
Interesting. The one thing that you think won't change?
I think the main thing that won't change is that the main thing what people want to do is ride waves with nothing in their hands. So, which is, I think, the whole draw of Parawinging is, it's like the ultimate of so far what we've got in foiling.
Kenneth, what do you think will change next year?
I think you're going to see more race versions coming out. Maybe some race as far as like setting up like an upwind leg to a downwind without the Parawing, kind of a mix up like Liam was talking about in that event they had in the UK. I think that could be really fun. And then as far as things that don't change, I don't think the innovation will change. I think everybody is just going to keep pushing the sport and learning from what's working and what's not working and what the riders want. So I think that's not going to change.
Yeah, I would be really curious to see what happens. I think Cynthia, do you think M2O will have Parawinging division next year?
I don't know. It's such an extreme race because of the wind. Like, the wind can just shut down. It's already challenging enough to do it on a hand wing, and you have to be on a 7-meter hand wing. So I don't know. I don't think they would sanction a class, but people might just do it and have a boat support.
Yeah, I think, and this is something that happened in downwinding. I think all of the guys that I talked to from Code Foils, like James Casey, he's really adamant about, we're downwinding because we want to surf, and now it's all about speed. And I'm like, well, dude, if you put race in the name, it's the fastest from A to B. So in the Parawing, it'll be like a powered up downwind run, right? Yeah. So to your point, Ken, I think it would be cool to have some sort of event that it is a race, but it's an upwind leg up race that you then have to go downwind without the Parawing. Yeah. And then it's kind of cool because you need to know how to stow it, because if you screw up your redeploy, someone will pass you. So there's all those things that are all the things that we struggle with on a normal session. And then, you can see techniques getting better because they're doing it for a race. So it'll be cool. And then accessories
and
all
even
that
foil
stuff
choice, like you were saying, like on a nice stable kind of mid-aspect foil, you can really push upwind hard compared to like a big downwind style foil, which you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, but you'll need the downwind foil
so
for
like
the downwind pump part.
Choosing where you gain, whether it's the upwind or downwind leg, or what the the sweet spot is for that would be cool as well to see it. You could have people, winning upwind by 5 minutes and then getting caught right at the finish line by the downwind foils. Could be pretty cool to see the different techniques.
Yeah. And we've spoken about this a few times with different people. Like it could be a 3-kilometer course and you could see the whole thing. You can actually experience the whole event in front of you, which in a downwind race is very hard. You have A to B and that you're never going to see the whole thing. So if anyone's keen on doing an event out there,
That sounds
that's
like a
cool
great one in the Bay
to get done.
in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Sorry, not
I
your
think
Bay, Kenny.
it's
Our
not
Bay
like
in Melbourne.
Well, it could be in our bay too.
Some of the
And I
gnarliest
think
racing
about a
ever in
lot-
Kenny's Bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what like I think like Melbourne is such a good spot for
Yeah.
Parawing, man. Like I think about where to go around the world and I'm like, man, we got it good here. And it could be something interesting to explore, like a Brighton to
Yeah.
Elwood thing. And that's a 3-kilometer stint and you can be in the top of the hill and you can just see the whole thing,
Yeah.
which is quite cool. Sinbad, what do you think will change for next year? Sorry, Ken, did you answer what do you think will not change? Or if you
Just
wanna...
the innovation.
Innovation.
Yeah. That I think everybody's just going to keep pushing the sport until we find the top.
I agree with both Ewan and Kenny about their response. My only added comment would be, I think there's going to be like a bazillion Parawing manufacturers next year because I think a lot of companies they want to jump in and they think it's probably an easy thing to develop because it's small. But when it's really not an easy thing to develop. Greg from BRM, I've seen him with a hybrid prototype here, and it actually looks really good. Like it's got like I was shocked. I watched the low end. It was a light wind day, which is rare for here. He went out on a low wind day and got up easily and was out, and it seemed kind of like it might be a really cool thing.
That's cool. And I saw the guys from 777 said that they have something that's pretty developed now in the hybrid space as well. So that could be coming out pretty soon. So it will happen. And we'll see if it's worth it or not, because I think losing bottom end and having a 5-meter Parawing is not what I want. I always try to downsize my Parawing as much as possible to the point where I'm almost preferring a slightly bigger board these days to be able to ride a small Parawing, especially if I'm doing laps, because easier to stow, less tangles, better redeploys, all that stuff. So I would rather be on a 2.5 or a 3 and a bigger board than a 3.5 or 4 and a small board, like any day of the week. I don't know what's going to change next year, to be honest, but I think the one thing that won't is everybody asking for advice, saying, what board should I go on? And then you say, oh, start on, a board that's 20 liters over your weight. And then you're like, oh, can I get away with a 40 liter? Like that question will never go away. And the answer is, well, why do you even ask me then, man? Just do whatever you want. I think just get those first sessions in. A lot of the questions that people ask me are people getting into the sport. So have 5 sessions on a big board that you're actually doing the sport, and you'll just get over that hump of just handling the Parawing in the water. Learn that and then move on. So I'm just going to direct people to this answer now. All right, rapid fire. We need to wake up now because it's been 1 hour and 40. And this is going to be quick. We got 8 questions. If we want to debate the answers and if we get conflicting answers, we can. If everybody agrees, we can just move on. Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. First one, small boards. Overrated or underrated? Sinbad.
Overrated. Well, how small? It depends. That's the thing.
No, there's none of that. Small or big, whatever small means to you, whatever big means to you.
Love small boards. I just like that's a trick question. I don't get it because we just talked about beginners not learning on small boards. Go to Kenny.
Kenny, overrated or underrated?
In my eyes, of a big board and a small board, underrated.
Yeah.
Ewan?
I'd say underrated how good it is on foil, overrated for how much of a hassle it can be.
Yeah, I say overrated. Sinbad, do you have an opinion?
No, well, I said, yeah, it just depends what you mean by small. But yeah, I would just say overrated generally. Yeah. Makes it
Overrated
harder.
generally. Cool. What's the one skill that every rider should master? Start with Ewan.
A clean stow and redeploy, so you don't come off foil.
Kenneth?
Learning to switch your feet and riding the
I
opposite
changed
stance.
mine. That's mine.
I totally agree. Switching your feet so you
Yeah.
can get upwind to the waves.
To me, it's the stow. Just practice the stow. I think people like get up on the foil and then put the Parawing away and never get it out again. So do that more. Short lines or long lines? Ewan.
For Parawing, sorry, that's such a kite
No,
question for me.
Foiling. It is.
Medium.
Mm.
I don't know. I guess short. If you can design around a short bridle set, then yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Short.
I'm going with medium because there is too short. I mean, it was proven in I can't say the brand, but they came out with a V2 and the lines were too short and people were miserable. So there's a fine line. I don't know that answer. Medium.
Arm's length.
Yeah,
Medium.
arms like
length.
dangle.
Arm's length is perfect.
Yes.
Dangle length.
Yeah.
Yep. Dangle length. I'm going short, and I'm taking that arm length as the short. We already answered this. Harness line, yes or no? Sinbad.
Yes.
Yes.
Ken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ewan. I'm a no, but that might change. I'm going to try it again. I haven't put one on for a long time, so I might just try it after this podcast.
Go out with a session with me with 6 hours and let's see how long you last.
Oh, he went
6
he
hours.
said he went
You're
3
a
hours.
monster. Jesus
No,
Christ. I don't have
because
that
the
time.
harness.
No, Daniel went 3 hours. No
Yeah, 3
harness.
hours is enough, isn't it?
Popeye.
Yeah. And it was pumping.
That's impressive.
Mm. What's the most versatile Parawing size?
3.5.
Ewan. Kenneth?
I like 3 for hood, but 3.6. Yeah.
Three for
Sinbad?
me, but I'm on the small side. So 3 is that's perfect size.
I'd go 3.2. A little bit more than 3. If you had to give one up in a Parawing, what would be the top end or the low end? Let's start with you on this one, Sinbad.
Can you start with Kenny? I
Ken.
have to think about that.
I would say low end. I would say low end because you could always fly it off A's.
Mm-hmm.
You would give up
Ewan?
low end? Wait.
No,
Yeah.
I would want
Oh,
low
okay.
ends, and then you could always ride the tie
Okay.
end off A's. Like when he's super overpowered, you could literally
Okay.
just take all your A's and put them in your hand or in your fingers, all the front A lines,
No,
and
you're
just ride
giving
it
up
off
your
the front.
top end. It doesn't work like that. It's trying to kill you in the top end. Yeah, I'd give up the top end too, though. I don't want to get stuck.
Yep.
I would agree. I'd give up the top end.
Sinbad?
Yeah, I'd give up the top end. I didn't understand the question. I am kind of blonde, so I'd give up the top end.
It's weird. I would give up the low end and just go on a bigger Parawing. I just love to have that no limit feel on the Parawing, and that's why I came back to the pocket rocket. I'm like, God, this thing is just, it's limitless. Like the more wind goes in that thing, the more you go upwind. Kind of liking that at the moment.
Well, you could ride the double skin, and we'll be doing laps around you as you're trying to get up.
I tried getting up the other day.
The barge will be honking at you. And
I
you
tried
can't
to get up the other day with 2 Parawings. And I think 2 Parawings is actually better than a big one.
Interesting.
Once you're up, you just toss it, and there's no one riding, so there's no one's gonna run over it or anything, and then you just kind of just play around it and just pick it up whenever you're ready to go. What's the worst habit most Parawings have? I'll start with you, Sinbad. You got to be first in one of them.
The worst habit?
What's the worst habit that you see out there that Parawingers have?
Oh, that Parawingers have. Probably
This
going
is a
on
Parawinging podcast. We're just talking about Parawinging.
I thought you meant the Parawing. Like, what is the worst habit my Parawing has? So parawingers, I think
Oh yeah.
we already went through this going on too small of a board.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
EJ.
bad stows, bad stashes. Just because we've already said a few other ones.
Yep. Ken.
Being desperate and going out in conditions they shouldn't.
Yep. I'll change. Mine was stowing as well.
Yeah.
Just when people like wrap the lines, like and do that. That's definite no. But I think just overall just body position. Like people just ride with that poo stance, and I'm like, you know, firm up those glutes, just tighten up a little bit, and just good body position will go a long way. It'll help you tremendously. All right. Would you rather ride a small foil and a big board, or a big board and a small foil?
I think for downwind, big board, small foil, and for sessioning, smaller board, big foil. And
Mm-hmm. For laps?
it depends how big a foil we're talking. If it's like 1500, I'll take the bigger board with the small foil.
Nobody would ride a 1500. What, like the size up? Like, would you size up? One size up of what you normally ride.
I think it just depends on the day. Sometimes one way, sometimes the other way.
Or the size
Yeah.
of the waves.
Yeah, if it's small waves, big foil's not bad.
Isn't
So
bad.
you're assuming that I have the luxury of foil choice. I have one foil, so and I have one board.
What's your
so
foil?
Hey, don't you feel bad for her?
Well, actually, I have two.
Poor thing.
I have a F4 685 or a 530. So the 685 is my daily driver. I don't have the luxury of like anything bigger right now. So, and I have only one board. So I don't have.
No,
I'm feeling bad.
She has 30 boards and she has
No, those 30 boards
15
have
foils.
Tuttle, and I only have one track board. So, and I have one track mass or I have Tuttle mass.
There's Kalama art all in her.
There's one
in her
behind
living
me.
room.
Because I think.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you go.
On the video.
There you go. A little plug.
I don't know. I like a
don't make us
small
feel
board.
bad for you because you have the latest foil setup and the latest board that came out. So
I do.
let's.
I have the Rolex of
You'll be fine.
setup. So I would say small board. If I had a big foil, I'd
Okay.
still ride a small board.
I'm enjoying a little bit of a bigger board and smaller foil at this stage, just for what I'm doing. And the last one, it's a similar thing. Do you prefer to be on a bigger Parawing and a smaller board, or a smaller Parawing and a slightly larger board? I'll start with you, Ken.
I would say bigger Parawing for me. I like to, because I just like that being more powered up feel. So.
Yeah, you're pretty, like, the one thing that caught my eye in Hood is just like everybody's like cruising around, and then you see this one thing like, okay, that's Ken, like just blasting as fast as he can. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah,
Ewan.
probably a more bigger Parawing.
Sinbad?
I would like a smaller Parawing. I like dainty. Collapsing a big one, I'd rather collapse a little one all day long.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I kind of try to ride the smallest Parawing I can, and then I kind of work downwards from that and then go board and foil. And that's probably because I'm unhooked, right? It's probably hard to ride unhooked if you're on a big big Parawing.
Yep, true.
All right, the last thing we have to do here, ladies and gentlemen, is what's the ultimate Parawing setup? And we can do this as a group. Ken, you had some good thoughts that I think we're all going to share. So can you start? Just what do you think would be the ultimate Parawing setup, and we can work down into boards and then foils?
Well, I got it listed, so do you want me to read the whole thing?
Well, let's start with the Parawing. Like, if we're gonna, design the ultimate Parawing, what does it have? What does it do?
I would say, as far as characteristics that I've ridden of different brands, and I haven't rode Ewan's new one, and I haven't rode the new Oh shoot, what
Power
is it called?
pack.
Sinbad,
Power
the new
pack.
Power Pack. Sorry, Power Pack. So I haven't rode that. So I would say the ozone stability and flying characteristics, the F1 bar feel and how it flies when it's overpowered, the
Mhm.
BRM pack down and the BRM material,
Mhm.
and the line length of the old one. I'm not sure about the new one. And then some better material as far as more water resistant material, that is also packs down nice. So far as a Parawing.
Nice.
Oh, and
Anything?
small bar with hard ends.
Longhorns.
What are those?
Longhorns.
What would you call them?
Longhorns.
Yeah, longhorns. Yeah, yeah. 12 to 13-inch bar with longhorns.
That's still long, the bar. I'd
No,
go
I think
10, 11.
12
super
inches
small.
is 30 centimeters. I don't think, maybe BRM have smaller bars than that, but I don't think anyone else does.
They're too small, though. Have you ridden
Nah.
them?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
ridden it's too
Yeah,
small.
you get used to it, though. If you just ride it once, especially coming from the ozone, the Pocket Rocket has a big bar. You get used to it. I rode BRM for a little while, and I got used to it. And I went back to the Pocket Rocket. Now I'm like, whoa, the bar is enormous. And I think the diameter of the bar is also thinner, which I think is interesting. That could be something. A thinner diameter on the bar.
I just didn't like that that short
But in terms of the
bar.
Parawing, that's pretty much everything we want.
If the bar's too
Go ahead,
short,
Sinbad.
like the BRM short bar, your fingers, you have to be locked down on that nub. And I just found that constrictive. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, after riding it a little bit, I got used to it, and then the advantage when you stow is really
That's
good. Yeah. Anything else we want in the Parawing? I think Parawing should be bright colored just for safety, especially if it's a downwind kind of Parawing. It's probably the only thing that's going to stick out of the water if you're, in a bad situation. So the white Parawings are beautiful, but man, there's just a white cap out there when you're riding. You can't see it. It's hard. All right, let's move on to the board. Let's just change who we're talking to. Ewan, what do you think is the ultimate board for you these days?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the mid-length style stuff seems to work best for Parawinging. I went through a little phase of riding like a traditional wing style board, but a small one, like a 40, 50 liter. But it's just so hard to get up on foil with the efficiency of a Parawing. So yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, what I've settled with right now is a 58 liter 5.8 board. Got a little more nose rocker in it as well, so you can kind of, pump it pretty well and not kind of bury the nose. And yeah, not too narrow that, I like to have like a slightly staggered stance on my board, so I don't want it too narrow that I can't stagger my feet a little bit and end up having my back foot toes over the rail. I don't like that either. And I like just a flat deck.
So what width are we talking about then?
I mean, on the side of things, I don't really like to go less than about 18, 17 and a half, if you're trying to surf it a bit. So same with, but then again, that depends. It could be 19 in the middle and then too narrow towards the tail, and then you still have that issue. So I don't like it too pulled in on the tail either. And then I like a flat deck, not too much shaping on top or anything. Just I like a nice clean deck. And I like foil boxes, not a tuttle box as well, just for being able to move it around. So yeah,
You'll get
one
there.
day. But yeah, just
yeah,
for
Ken's
like
talking about things that like 2% of the foilers are able to experience.
Other brands, other foils, changing things up.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if everyone had an adjustable tuttle box on the market, then maybe I'd prefer that. But just for the sake of being able to borrow someone's foil, they all run in such different spots.
I think it's I found it crazy at AWSI how every brand created a foil drive specific mast. That blew my mind. I was like, that's something that is kind of like what you're saying is just a big change in the industry that everybody had to kind of adopt. I thought that was pretty interesting this year to see that. And yeah. All right, Ken, what do you think is board and foil setup that you're motivated on now?
I think with this this hollow construction, I think this is something that could be pretty freaking epic. I mean, I was talking to Kyle about it, and I was thinking that you could inject helium bags inside, so you don't have to worry about the cracks and leaking. You could put basically airbags inside of the hollow addition, and then inject helium inside of them, which would make the board lighter and would offset for sure the weight of the bag. But yeah, helium construction board, that would be the ultimate setup, like a 5.5 pound board, 60 liters would be absolutely epic. You put that with a Tuttle, and a Tuttle mast.
There's that
and a
Tuttle. Here
Tuttle
comes the
and a
Tuttle.
and well, because
Yeah,
the
you lost the
construction,
audience.
the construction on the mast is going to be so much better, and people are going to slowly realize that, really slow, but the high end riders will feel it. They'll know for sure that it's worth it.
And you and I, we know it.
But it is cool with the hollow boards, actually, like, unless you get a full, like, demolished crack, like, cave the rail of your board in, they can leak, and you can get back to shore and then open the plug and drain them out overnight and fix it up, and it's fine. It doesn't matter if they get wet, which is pretty cool. And they're super strong as well. Like, they don't just crack either. For I mean, a board that light in like an epoxy or something you would have to treat it like glass, whereas
you could run a lot more layers of carbon on the outer shell, which would help the impact. So you could probably run 2 or 3 layers versus running single or dual layers on a foam board. So they could be definitely better,
and the feel, like the input that you put into your foil, it's crazy. You just like nothing you've ever felt when you go into a hollow board.
Yeah, they want a foil with no effort, which is nice because the nose are so light. So,
Sinbad, what are we feeling board wise and foil wise? Well, we know the foil. You're an F4 girl now.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I would change on the foil is if it could have a little bit be a little snappier turning, like the surf foil. They just developed the Manta, which is it's like a little sports car, super fun, but then still have the low end, the glide, the pump, the acceleration. It'd be a unicorn. And the board, I mean, I'm not a board designer. I'm just, as long as it's light and stiff, it's going to be amazing. The board I have right now, it's the nicest board I've ever had. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Kenny. Other than the Kenny boards, which have Tuttle boxes, I needed a track board. So this board for right now is replacing my Kenny board. And then on the Parawing side, the only thing, like, what's amazing is the pocket rocket, which in the beginning I was like, yeah, the lines are long, and I didn't like that. But once I got used to it, like the range of that Parawing is insane. And then we all wanted shorter lines. Then they came out with this power pack, which like has the shorter lines, has the lower aspect, has the low end grunt. The only thing and has the shorter bar for you, but I think it's like 13 or maybe 14 inches. So it's probably too long for you. But
yeah, I think it's 14.
It's 14. But it is.
They change from size to size, which is nice. They'll go bigger bar and the bigger sizes, and they change to smaller bars and smaller sizes.
I don't think they did.
I think Dom might have said something on the podcast the other day.
Oh, okay. Because of what I read said it was the same bar, but I could be wrong again. So that, but if the canopy material and the line material that 777 uses is really nice and like the lightest I've ever felt. That would be my only change.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on all those specs. I think board obviously in foil is a little different. I'm really loving the surf stuff. I just wish that code had a skinny mast, like an 11 millimeter or something like that. That'd be sick. And just smaller tails as well. I really like to have a slightly bigger front wing and the shortest tail I can ride. I think that makes it good for the bottom end of getting up on the foil easily, but then you still have all the maneuverability. And I ride an extra small fuse, so that also helps. But apart from the skinny mast, I'm pretty happy with that setup. And then the board, I think what I talked to with Frank is perfect. Like for me, 65 liters, pretty spot on. 5.8 by 19 is where we landed. I'm pretty happy with that. And that's a board that I can upscale a little bit the Parawing and foil and get on, in 20 knots, and it's fine. And obviously when it's cranking, I think it's small enough to have fun on. So you don't have to perish too much out there. We were talking about renaming the sport Parish Wing.
That's what we call it
in Hood River. Yeah, the Nash crew is all calling it Parish Wing now. All right, guys, look, we are 2 hours in. I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for pushing the sport like you guys did this year. Let's try to do more next year. And if there anything that I can ever help you with whatever you're doing, projects, launches, Ewan, we can come in and talk more about the hatch if you want. But thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for your time. And let's make 2026 a better year for Parawinging.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
It was great.
Thank you.
you.
Cheers.